Okay, a bit of Collingwood ball movement. So you're going to see Darcy Moore attract this defender to get a 2-on-1, and then he's simply going to just loop the handball over the top to Noble, okay? So really easy play there, and we'll just do that in a bit of slow-mo. So there, the defender's clearly engaged. Now Noble, he scans the field up, and he's clearly got a couple of options, and what he's going to do is just drop that little short kick over the top, okay? So again, a nice easy option there for Noble, and then Dacos gets the ball. Now Dacos has got an interesting decision. He can move the ball on pretty quickly if he likes, but it risks getting smothered, or he can look back inboard and try to get the ball out on the other side of the ground. So let's see what he does. Okay, he thinks it's a bit risky there, it might get smothered, and he sees Darcy Moore and just hits that lateral kick, okay? The reason he's doing that is there's GWS numbers all down the line, okay? And it's probably going to be kicking to a contest down there, okay? So a pretty good decision from Dacos. Moore takes the mark, and we'll just quicken that up a bit. Now what Darcy Moore's got is a choice, okay? Do we want to make the ground big, or do we want to continue to go down the line where all these numbers are? And he's chosen to make the ground big and switch the ball. So now that's going to really test out GWS's defence. So we'll see what happens. So he switched the ball, and now we're on. And you can see that Collingwood has generated the loose man with Quainer over here. And now it's up to these Collingwood players to get width, okay? Keep getting width. And some of the players will be getting length, okay, to really make this ground big. So that's a really good choice from the Pies. So now Quainer's got the ball, and again, look at the decisions. He can go short to steal side bottom, or he could drive his legs and go long down here, and I think that could be Cox. Watch what side bottom does. Side bottom recognises that Cox has got a bit of space. So he actually sacrifices his run to come out here to drag that player. What that does, it creates the space for the next player to lead into, and that's what good teams do. Okay, so we'll clear that. And there's where, I think, who is that? I'm not too sure. It could be Beau McQuarrie, sorry. So Beau McQuarrie's got the ball, and now the Pies are forward of centre. And again, we'll just put that in normal motion. He goes sideways to steal. And then we get some movement up forward. And GWS are actually set up pretty well here when you look at it. Okay, so what's Steele going to do? Will he go back inside? He's going to go long to a contest. And again, why wouldn't you go long to Big Cox? He was marking everything, okay? So all that ball movement just to get that one look inside 50, and he's kicked it to the advantage of Cox. And the key to kicking to Cox is actually kicking it out in front of him so he gets a run at it. You don't want to just sit it on top of his head, okay? So that was a really clever kick from Steele side bottom. So the key learnings from that, really, okay, the number one thing that we really loved was Steele side bottom's really ability here to recognise, hey, I'm not going to get the ball, but I'm going to take my man out of it here to create the space for Beau McQuarrie. So that was awesome. And then we're just reflecting on getting the ball out and making the ground big, which Darcy Moore has done there, rather than keeping it, down here where all the traffic is. That's going to be tough work for the Pies, and that's what GWS want. So interesting ball movement, happens all the time at AFL level. In offense, make the ground big. In defense, we want to make it small. If you're able to make the ground big, spread with width, okay, and spread with length, and try to really test out those defenders and get some one-on-ones up forward. There you go.